Good afternoon, my name is Gabriela Maloof. I was born in Cartagena, but I moved to Bucaramanga, where I studied a language degree at WIS University. After that, I came to Valledupar, and I have been working here about 20 years. I teach English at the school, and a public school, and also at the Universidad Popular del Cesar, English and didactic. After this presentation about myself, I continue talking about our course called Didactics for Foreign Language 2. Especially, I'm going to present a short introduction about this subject. It is necessary to propose a methodological change and analyze the learning needs of future teacher professionals. The main goal of the didactic of a foreign language is to provide a guidance on the methodology to be used so that the student acquired the easy and most practical strategy of that language in the appropriate way. English is worked in an integrated way, emphasized not so much in the acquisitions of the conceptual knowledge, but rather the preparation of the student for the concrete realization of tasks through the design of this the didactic material for the teaching English. Morales 2000 proposed to the design of material under communicative approach implied being contextualized and focused on the student needs. According to Vasquez 2008, suggests that the material should show the use of the target language in a real situation. It means that the learner feels familiar with the language used by native speakers. The material should invite learners to interact so that they can communicate spontaneously. Activity should be appropriate to the level of the learner, their need, and address topics of interest and maintain motivation. According to the goal, we have to develop communicative and productive skills to encourage reflection on the new trends in the English teaching learning process, to explore the educational use of digital material or content in the classroom and their impact on teaching and learning, to use technological tools in the process of planning, design, and evaluation of the English teaching learning process, and to design material for a specific purpose. According to the main topic we are going to develop in that course, we have divided in 4 units. Number 1 is talking about didactic materials. We are going to work with the concept, contextualization, characteristics, and type of didactic material in the 21st century, and role of the teacher. In the second unit, selection of teaching material, we have to take into account the criteria for the selection of didactic materials, function of the didactic materials, recommendation for designs and developments. In number 3, we have to talk about the design and developments or teaching material. We have to formulate of achievable objectives instead of creation and development of the didactic material, creation of activity according to the multiple intelligence and learning rhythms and multidisciplinary didactic unit. And in the last part, we have evaluate teaching and material. After the implementation of activity, we have to talk about the pedagogical implication of didactic material in the classroom and evaluation tools. It's very important also to talk about the methodology, what we are going to do in our classes. At first, we have all the time the teacher support and activation of prior knowledge. It's meaning using an inquiry method, talking and asking different questions for the student to analyze the different aspects of this course. After that, we have to do a conceptualization of the themes and analysis of problem situation, teaching by comparisons and contrasts, and use collaborative work, autonomous learning, and micro-teaching. In those methodology are involved reflected words, analysis, building of learning, and socialization on meaningful experience. Another strategy that we can use in that methodologies are related with individual and group work. Analysis of educational situations in different groups and try to solve this kind of problem, to give a solution for the different problems that we can find. And the students have to create own resources. In this course, we are talking about the generate competence. We find these three general competence, like instrumental competence is related with the communication, planning and organization, technology, and solving problems. The interpersonal competence is related with teamwork, interaction and interpersonal relations, recognition and respect for diversity, and social responsibility. And the system competence, we find autonomous work, adapting to the new situation, creativity, and leadership. According to the competence, the themes, and also the objectives, the main goal, we find the outcome of learning. Number one, know and applying textual and multimedia resources and material in the English classroom. Number two, know the approach of content and language integrated learning. It's mean clear. Plan teaching and acquire practical skill for the selection of a didactic material to work on oral and writing comprehension and productions at the different age and level. Design evaluations instruments according to the pre-established objectives and apply evaluation criteria. Now, after these general presentations, our first class is related with the didactic material. What it means that? Didactic material are the elements that we as a teacher use to facilitate and lead our student learning using books, poster, math, photos, slides, audio, video, and different software. Also, we can say that these didactic materials are resources and equipment that help us to present and develop the context and help the student to work with them in the construction of the meaningful learning. Talking about didactic material, it's important to take in account the characteristics. At first, we have, after begin to design or choose a didactic material, it is necessary to think about this material could be individual use or collective use. Versatility and adaptation to the different contexts. It means that we can adapt according to the age, according to the student levels, and according to the different situation of the school or the university. Promote the use of other material like worksheet, dictionary, among others, and complementary activity but using communicative approach. The material, when we design a material or when we are choosing a material, it is necessary to take into account that that material must wake up the curiosity and the interest in their use without provoking anxiety. Appropriated, we have to adapt and we have to choose appropriated material according to the multiple intelligence and the learning rhythm of our students. The didactic material we have to classify in general in three groups. Some of them are writing. In that writing material we find printed material, board, cardboard, paper, modeling claims, posters, something like that. And audiovisual also we have posters, audio, video, TV program, etc. And digital resources. All the digital resources are related with technology, video game, contest, blog, chat, forums, social networks, something like that. Okay, here we have some example of using a didactic material and also creating didactic material in our classes. This is a workshop. In the first picture we have, this is an explanation about what is the relation between pedagogic approach, activity, and motivation. This is in the didactic class. The student makes some poster and try to identify the information with the different pictures. In the second example, we find some picture related with the commands, especially from primary. We can design it for our student and kindergarten. And another example is related with the use of the objectives, because the students in most of the school and also the university like superpowers and they like to draw. We can use pictures and also a timeline talking about their life. And also we can use a lab book with different vocabulary and writing something about reflection about environmental problems or social problems. Those are some examples of resources material, but especially for digital material. About games, we can use Kahoot, Canva, YouTube, Google Drive, EdHelpers, Password Maker, and Celebrity. Those kind of tools we can use for making games. And for vocabulary, we can implement Storyboard, MyMasters, Quizlet, That Quiz, Socrates, and quizzes. And for writing, there is a long list, but especially grammar-free, Storyboard when we need to present or to do a fable or a tale with the student. We can use Prezi for our presentations, Pixton to create a cartoon, Canva, and Genially to make infography, Mind Maps to make a summary, and Parlot also to present some information. According to the listening, we can use BBC Learning English, WET ESL with the speaker. We can also use some videos related with Pantheon, Animaker, Filmora, and also those kind of tools we can use to make a production of the video. And this is a special tool, EducaPlay, because that page integrates all the skills, all the abilities related with listening, writing, reading, and speaking. According to the reading, we have Bloomerang, Fast Company, Our Business Review, Chamilo, PN Word, Project Management, Journal, BBC News. For speaking, we find Skype, those platforms like Meet, Team, Brightspace, Moodle, Blackboard, Zoom, TaxCase, social networks, at BitBlue, Baront. Okay, here we have some example of the material that I have implemented in my class at the school and also with the student for Didactic. Okay, this is a mind map, and the students are using Canva to design this infography related with the role of the teacher. As you can see, here the students put the information and they present to the rest of the class using Canva, or they can use Genially to make an infography. Another example is when the students are using some videos
Hello my little friends, welcome to my English class. Today we are going to learn simple present tense. Join me everyone on this amazing adventure. Come on! Well little friends, before we begin we need to know what the simple present tense is first of all. So
okay, in this video, the student tried to show how he designed a class or present a class to talking about the simple present using a video. Another example is using a tool Animaker.
Comparative adjective. Hi, Camila, how are you?
Hi, not so good, you know. In my English class, we are taking a new topic about comparatives, and it's such a confusing topic for me. I think this topic is more confusing than the previous topics.
But Cami, did you made use of comparative adjective and you didn't realize it? Oh, can you explain?
Of course.
Okay. Okay, in that video, the student used Animaker tool to make a video, a short video, about adjectives, comparatives, and use also some pictures, some elements that are using to explain the student, to engage the student to the class. Another example of digital resources in our classes.
Hi friends!
The use of
podcasts. Another
podcasts.
chapter of English with Bros to talk regarding to this kind of words that generally go together. Did you know collocations in English are not literal expressions of what they represent, and as they are not based on grammatical rules?
Okay, in this kind of activity, the students talk about collocation, but they use a podcast in order to present the topic to the class. This is a material, but this is a digital material, but the student need to prepare with a structure, follow some instructions to do that. And if we need to do an evaluation, one of the ways to do an evaluation is using the Willow's names. In that part, we can use that speak, and we decided to evaluate our student with different topics. In that case, we are talking about the superlative and comparative. For example, here, this is the question: what are the best and the worst songs you have ever listened to? And if the student answer in the correct words, they receive this information. Here you find a bibliography. In that bibliography, you can read some information about the didactic material, how we can decide those kind of resources. Okay, in our next sections, we are going to continue talking about what is the role of the teachers in the class when we are going to talk about designing materials. Okay, thank you very much. See you next class.